Hey guys, Bryson here and welcome to my show, and today we're going to take a look at exactly how Dwayne Haskins spent his first $1 million as being an NFL rookie. Now, we did a video like this before and I was not happy about how these NFL players spend their money, but let's see right here if anything has changed whatsoever. And by the way, I do post videos every single day, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, and on top of that also destroy the like button. Now without further ado, let's see exactly how Dwayne Haskins is spending his money. By the way, I don't know anything about football, okay? I'm just saying names, but I don't know anything about football. All I care about is the money and how you're spending the money, okay? I'm just saying.
As a kid, I always thought I was going to play in the NFL, and everybody thought I was crazy. I knew I was going to be able to do it with hard work and perseverance, and I made it.
That's awesome, you know, like ever since a kid, he's been wanting to be an NFL player, and then he made it happen. I think, man, when people like try to like put down kids, like saying like, hey, that's not realistic, I think it's good to like let a kid go ahead and like push himself to that pinnacle to see if he actually wants to achieve that, you know. I'm happy that his parents supported him, and he also had the perseverance to actually go out there and become an NFL player.
So if we look at your resume, first job ever is NFL quarterback.
That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, that'll be my first real job.
That's crazy. My first job ever was like bagging stuff like at a supermarket. Not as fancy, but you know.
Being in school, I didn't have any debt, so everything was already paid for. My apartment, only thing I had to pay for in college was my car bill.
That's awesome, you know, going to college free because again, he's also an athlete. That's awesome.
The first thing I asked my agent, like, I'm drafted now, so when do I get paid? When I got my first signing bonus, I put about 70% of it away. 30% of it I put in a different account.
So 70% for savings and then 30% for spending. I feel like it's like a strategy that a lot of these guys do. Like last time with Hernandez, he did the exact same thing. That was like a unique thing, but it sounds like their agents keep recommending the same exact thing, like spend 30%, save 70%. Let's see exactly how this ends up though.
I'm thinking I'm getting all this money and like half of it's going to taxes. You got agent fees, you got all this stuff you got to pay for. I have a financial advisor, so talk about finances, savings, having different buckets he calls it, as far as having spending money, having saving money, having money put away for the long term with like 3 different bank accounts.
That's awesome. You know, that's awesome. Like I'm a big fan of investing into like your future, you know. So if you want to get like a financial advisor to like help you with that stuff, always recommend it. If you want to learn by yourself, you can also learn by yourself also, but it's all up to you and what you want to do. But so far so good, man. I actually like this guy so far. Let's see exactly how this ends up, because last time I liked Hernandez and I did not like that he spent $4,500 on the toilet, okay?
The first thing I bought after I saved my money, so make sure you save your chicken. I got myself a car and my mama house. I got myself a Bentley Bentiaga.
Bentley car. Bentley.
That car, $250,000.
$250,000 on a car. $250,000 on a car. Can you imagine that? Let me look something up right now. So look at this. If you buy a brand new Bentley, the first 3 years is going to depreciate by around like 35%. So it's like you got a fancy car, yes, but like in 3 years, you just lost 35% of all your money. Not happy so far, man. Not happy.
I'm not buying no more cars. Not a very great investment to buy cars. They depreciate with value. If you're gonna buy a car, make sure you're comfortable with what you're buying.
You see, like they say like, oh, you know, I'm not gonna buy another car, and you know, like depreciating value, like you know all this stuff, but you still go ahead and do it, you know? I don't care what you buy. Have your money, make money, and then buy those liabilities. And why would you pay cash for a car? I don't get it. I just don't get it. A car of this magnitude.
What was your mom's reaction like, and how did you give it?
And why buy a new car? Why buy a new car?
I always want to give my mom a house. That's like something a lot of athletes want to do for their mom. You know, my mom sacrificed a lot for me growing up. And
yeah, you know, one thing I've noticed is that a lot of people, again, that come from nothing, they always want to like do that thing for their parents to be like, hey, I appreciate you. I thank you. Here's a house, you know, and usually that means is here's liability, you know, here's a liability. Here's a car, another liability, you know. Usually, you know, you want to give your parents assets, and that's fine that he did this stuff, because usually that's what you kind of like want to always do, because like the picture perfect thing to do. But in reality, you want to gift your parents usually assets to make them money so they can buy whatever they want to buy, you know. That's called long-term wealth.
How much was the house that you bought?
There's not enough on the table. That would be the rest of all this money. So $750.
Wow, so he's saying that he spent $750,000 on a house for a car. I mean, for a house for his mom. That's, you see what I'm saying, guys? Okay, so let's say, for example, instead of doing that, he bought maybe 3 houses, right? Maybe 3 houses that gave his mom maybe like rental property or rental income of maybe like $2,000 every single month, right? So that's like around $6,000 in income for his mom. Do you think his mom would like that much better? Or do you think his mom would have wanted this big fancy house that if something happens to him, she has to pay the taxes on it and pay everything on it, okay? So what do you guys think? By the way, usually big house also means big maintenance and also big light bills, okay? So that's why I'm not a big fan of just like buying all these fancy stuff for your parents.
It was $750,000, but that wasn't spent for me, so I'm not gonna count that.
Wow, so he's not even counting the $750 he spent on his mom. He's just gonna count like the $1 million he spent on himself. So this guy probably spent like over $2 million already.
I always wanted to go out the country. I have not gone yet, but I'm going to the Bahamas soon. Trip coming up next month.
So let's budget $10,000 for the vacation.
Yeah, 10 bands, vacation money.
So $10,000 on a vacation, you know. One thing I've noticed is, guys, everyone wants to come to America, and then you find out that most Americans have a passport, right? Well, I think most Americans don't have a passport, and most Americans don't even travel, which is something like they miss out on. So if you've been working hard all your life and you want to spend like a light 10K on it, that's fine. Would I do it? The answer is probably like I probably wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't like spend $10,000 like on a vacation like at all. But I get the entire idea of like, hey, I just made all this money, and I'm also like an NFL player, and anything might happen to me tomorrow. I want to go ahead and enjoy a vacation with him or his family, whatever it is. I get that, I understand that.
I got me 1 or 2 watches, something I got on right now, the Tech Philippe. I bought it bust down already. It's like a chandelier.
Oh my gosh, a watch, chandelier, Protect, bust down. These are all code words for big liabilities, man. By the way, you guys know whenever you like bust down a watch, usually it takes away from the integrity of the watch. In reality, it becomes a lot less valuable. You guys knew that? I found that out because I took a whole course on watches on how to sell them.
Worth over $100,000. I did not pay that much for this watch though. I gotta pull up my receipts. It's like $60K for the Patek.
So it's worth $100,000. He pays $60K. Let me tell you what this means, okay? It usually means that the assessment for the watch was actually like $100K, and they do that usually for insurance purposes. So for example, if the watch gets stolen, he has insurance for up to $100,000, and then boom, before you know, you're committed insurance fraud. Am I saying he's gonna do that? No, but I'm from the Bronx, and I know exactly what most people actually do and why it's like, oh yeah, it's worth this much, but I pay this much for it. Usually, you don't buy a car that's worth like $60K and you pay like $10,000 for it, if you know what I mean, all right?
What about the chain? How much was the chain?
Another 10. Chain.
$10,000 for a chain, bro. Look at this, man. Look at this, guys. I gotta show it off right now. I got this right here. Check it out. I got this right here, and I bought this for free when I went to Punta Cana. I got this right here, and this is straight gold, man. Check this out. And guess how much I paid for this? Oh, well, for that, found it on the street. For free, obviously. I found it on the street.
You gotta be drippy. So I got a couple nice clothes. My dad always says I get my fashion sense from him. He used to model and all that stuff like that. So I always kind of knew how to dress. I just didn't have the money to buy the expensive things.
You know, one thing people say, I think Mayweather says this a lot, you know, and Mayweather spends a lot of money on clothing. He says, something that is expensive does not equal fashion, you know. So buying expensive stuff doesn't always mean like, hey, I'm drippy. You know what I mean? Usually means you just have expensive stuff on, and usually just means you're making brands like more famous and also like spending your money on them, more revenue for them.
Met a whole bunch of fashion people out here. You know, I got a personal shopper now, and I don't go to the mall anymore.
That's insane. I have a personal shopper now. I don't go to the mall. That's just code for excessive, you know. And one thing I'm going to say is this, guys. Whenever you come into contact with a lot of money, you want to keep very, very careful with who you bring around your circle. Because, for example, if all your friends are spenders and your girlfriend's a spender, guess what you're going to be? A spender also. It's going to be very, very hard to save your money, okay? I want to put that out there like all the way through. Because you guys think I'm cheap, but you guys have not seen my girlfriend. She's the definition of cheap, okay? Definition of cheap.
I gotta buy suits. Suits was something I had to buy for the season. Being a quarterback, bought like 4 or 5 suits. Tailor-made, 10.
4 to 5 suits tailor-made, 10,000. That's like 2,500 for per suit. Man, I go to H&M, buy that for like $100, man, like maybe 60 bucks. And man, you know, but the thing is this, guys, again, NFL player, plays for a famous team. He has to keep up this image also. So I understand that. Usually I don't judge people when it comes to suits and stuff like that, because basically it's part of the look, it's part of the persona. On top of that, $2,500 for these events, and I hope it's like a long term. I have 4 suits and I just call it a day, don't need anything else, that's fine. But if I see him with like a glass suit made out of like this has like gold embellishment from like Paradise, and it has like, for example, it glows in the dark, I paid $20K for this, then it's just like getting out of hand, and I'm just not there anymore.
First year, I'm like 40,000.
He spent $40,000 on clothes, man. Come on, man. Like, whew. You know the crazy thing. You know when I stopped buying fancy clothes, guys? When I found out, and this is a true story, okay? That quality does not mean paying for something, okay? I'm gonna show you guys right now. For example, guys, this bag right here. This is a leather bag, 100% leather, and it costs around $200. I used to work at Gap, so I got it for like $100. And then I found out, I was like, you know what? I'm getting such a great deal. But then I found out that basically it takes like 50 to 40 bucks to actually make a bag like this from authentic leather, like with all the shipping costs, and on top of that, all the like the labor and stuff like that. So like the upsell that they actually charge all these guys, it's insane, man. And on top of that, if you want to resell any clothes, you just can't. You know, you won't really get your money back. So again, a lot of liabilities here. You can get fresh with a lot less than $40,000, man.
If I had to take myself out of the best style for the Washington Redskins, I give Landon Collins, he's up there. My man Jimmy Morton is up there. Steven Sims, Q Dunny's up there, and Crow.
You see what I'm saying? Right now he's comparing like, you know, his friends, his peoples, and you know, like saying like, oh, you know, they got some nice styles. Again, when you surround yourself with like, you know, stylist people and big spenders, eventually you start to like get that stuff to wear off on you, and next you know, you become just like them in a sense, you know. That's why, tell me, how do you get so cheap, and how do you go from like buying expensive stuff to like being so cheap? I started reading a lot of books about cheap people. Warren Buffett, super cheap guy. He just spends a lot of money in investments. A lot of the books I read about cheap people, if you think about it, right?
I'm training in LA. I'm working out with Deshaun Watson and a few other friends, Deshaun Kaiser and Manny Wilkins, with my quarterback coach, Quincy Avery. And we're playing a game. You know, like whoever loses has to buy dinner tonight. So unfortunately, I lose, right? We go to some...
Okay, he you know, he lost the game, whatever. Some dinner, like what is it, like Chuck E. Cheese, like $10, no big deal.
First of all, it was supposed to just be us 4. They invited friends, family, cousins. It was like almost 15, 20 people at the table. I'm like, there's no...
That is wild. That is wild. I would have left. I would have left the whole store, left everyone right there and be like, okay, so peace, you guys enjoy yourselves. I won't be back.
I was pissed, so I didn't bet with them no more.
$10,000 on food. You have to think about it, guys, right? You're talking about 15 people, right? In this entire restaurant thing, you're probably saying, like, Tom, that's a lot of people, right? 10,000 divided by 15, that's around $666 per person. Like, what is that person, like, eating? A dragon, a giraffe, a tiger, endangered species? I just don't know what to tell you, but I don't understand how, like, one person can, like, eat $660 worth of food, you know? I don't know, you know, maybe it's like, and by the way, usually fancy restaurants always have like this very small portion. I'm just not a big fan of all the fancy stuff, you know, I'm just being honest.
Shout out to Corey. I have like a whole bunch of like murals and like motivational things. I got a weight room. I have like 5, 6 different paintings. Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson.
You know, I would judge him on paintings and stuff like that, but again, guys, you know, I have all this stuff back here. And if you guys ever wonder, like, Tommy, who the fudge is this guy right here? Well, that's my dad. You know, I have a picture of my dad right here. And if you guys don't know, my dad's not here anymore. He passed away. On top of that, like, all these pictures right here, like, it's motivation stuff. Like, it gets you pumped. But then again, if somebody told me, Tommy, you know what? I got this picture right here. 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. I'd be like, hey, you can keep that, okay? I'll get me, like, a little book, a little page, and I'll basically just take some paper and I'll draw some motivation stuff and I'll put it up there myself. I'm not paying anybody no $10,000. So let's see exactly how much he spent on it. Because if he spent anywhere above like maybe like $500 to $1,000, I will be mad.
Nipsey, J. Cole, Biggie, Tupac. It's a dope piece. He didn't charge me that much. So I'll probably say another 10 for to paint my basement.
$10,000 to decorate your painting with pictures, bro. I was about to curse right there. You know what I believe in, guys? I believe in printers. I believe in very high quality printing. I'm sorry, man. I'm not about to justify $10,000 in decorations of paintings, man. I get like all the great people. I like rappers too and stuff like that, but $10,000 is insane. You know, the thing is, like, when you look at, like, hey, you know what keeps me humble, guys, is that although I make $23,000, whenever I think about exactly, like, per month, whenever I think about exactly how much money I make, I always assess it to how much money I used to make when I was in college. I was making around, at one point, I was making around $60 per week. So I always ask myself, if I was making this much money, would I actually buy those things? The answer is always no. I would not spend $10,000 on some paintings, bro. It's impossible, you know? So that's how I kind of keep myself focused on, like, the goal. I don't spend as much money as my money keeps growing. I keep my spendings the exact same way.
Being in the NFL, of course, you have family members that you want to look after, a couple friends that you grew up with. Biggest thing I learned is how to say no, because people will ask for a lot if you let them.
Yeah, man. You know, you gotta be careful with that stuff, man. I've had friends, I had family members like ask me for money, and the answer is usually, I'll teach you how to make money. I won't give you any money. It's kind of like, you know, if you have like a friend and that always asks you for fish, and you always give him a fish, you have to feed him every single day. But if you teach him how to fish, you only have to feed him once. You know, that's it. You teach him how to fish, he goes out there, he catches his own fish. That's how I see it, my perspective. If they get mad at you because you want to teach them, then not my business, you know? Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'll teach you, I won't give you, because then you become a liability and then you become a problem.
We take care of my
Unless you're sick or like you really need some help. That's a whole different conversation.
sister. I helped her go to school, you know, stuff like that. Something that I feel like was important for somebody to move forward with their life, I'll help them with. She got a scholarship to SCAD, Savannah College in Art Design. She is a actress, and she's majoring in communications. She wants to...
Those are terrible majors. I'm sorry. I'm just putting that out there. Those majors usually don't correlate to a good ROI. However, if you're happy doing it, go for it, you know. But those majors don't really have a good ROI. I'm just putting that out there because I do a lot of research on like college courses and stuff like that, and those ones right there are trash.
Degree money, sir. Going to my sister.
$50,000 on a degree. What do I think about this? I think it's a good investment, you know. When I say like it's not like a good degree, like they're trash or whatever, I mean, for example, you can still land a job making like 30, 40, 50K, and if you're really lucky, in this case, like your brother's famous also, so he probably gets like a good start also. You can also go out there and become someone that's really famous, you know. I'm saying like the odds are very against her in a sense, you know. So yeah, 50K for a degree, 4 or 5 years, 4, maybe 6 years, master's degree, I'm not sure, but it's a pretty good investment. Would I have done that? The answer is probably no. You know, if you can't afford it, take out some loans. You know, that's gonna make you, like, for example, it sounds like I'm really like I sound kind of messed up here, you know. But the idea is this, guys. When I went to college, I took out loans, right? And these loans put a burden on me to actually make sure that I gotta make sure whatever I'm doing here, I do it correctly, because if I don't, then I'm gonna be stuck with these loans. That's why I'm an accountant, right? So that's why I picked a degree that's actually gonna benefit me in some way.
Let's push all this money in for taxes. Ouch, that hurts. Yeah, this is all taxes.
So he spent $550 on taxes. That's a 55% tax rate. I'm not sure about the accuracy of that. I think the tax rate for like a milli is like 36%. So there's something like that's odd here. However, he does have a manager and stuff like that. But overall, guys, tell me, what do you think about his first spending? As you guys can see right there and then, there are literally no investments whatsoever. But then again, he did say he has a financial advisor. He saved 70% of his money, and then the rest is like he spent it. So I'm guessing if he spent $1 million, but then he also bought his mom a house for $750, that's already like 1.75. You know, my main thing is this, guys. You know, whenever it comes to like getting this much money and going out there and spending it, I always recommend go ahead. Put all that money into investments, safe investments, okay? And also keep some in cash. And then use that money, the money that your investments actually make, to actually go out there and buy whatever you want to buy, okay? If you want to drive that Bentley, lease it for like $2,000, $5,000 a month with the money that your investments actually create for you, okay? But buying something like for like $250, bro, and in 3 years it's worth like 35% less, no. Vacation, cool, I get that. Jewelry, trash. It's like, in some ways it can be an investment. If you're buying like a proper watch that's like not like a bust down or whatever, you can actually trade it up in value eventually. That's pretty cool if you ask me. But then clothes, dining and stuff like that, I understand all of that, you know, but I would have done all this stuff, right? But once my investments create enough income for me where I can buy this stuff with that money without having to think twice about it, okay? And without having to think about taxes like this heavily. So overall, guys, that's my opinion here. But comment down below and let me know exactly what do you guys think about this. Comment down below, let me know. And as always, if you enjoyed this video right here, well, like this video. And on top of that, also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. And on top of that, follow me on Instagram, Bryson. And before I go, if you want to watch another video about how Hernandez spent his first $1 million, here it is right here. Click my face right here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace.